Hey guys, we keep going on. We have a lesson 13 is the topic is covered with routing metadata. What does it mean, metadata? From HTML, if you know a little bit about it, metadata is an integral part of C optimization. I mean, C optimization, search engine optimization, right? I mean, when you site and when you're building your site in development stage, you can control all of the metadata features. What I mean by that, metadata is just to is a served the main indexing higher on the internet your product or your project, right? For example, when I just search for Apple product, for example, right? Apple product. It's also the apple.com is the first on the screen and the first um on the in the first page, right? Apple.com, blah blah blah. But not only Apple, but Apple is popular without any doubt, right? For example, products, only the products. For example, it's called it's dictionary. Um, and a product is a Wikipedia, for example. Yeah, any information that you want, Wikipedia is a main service to spread some information and to just explain you, right? And yeah, I mean, when you search for some kind of information on the internet, that information will be placed in the first place on specific website. We don't know exactly. That's the main reason of the Google Google services and Google travelers, like web travelers that trying to find some specific content and specific content titles and just display on them on the page for the user, right? And that is a completed, I mean, complex structure. I don't know exactly, but web browser that works. What I mean here, right? Um, but coming back to the topic, routing metadata is just specific ensuring proper search engine optimization, increasing visibility, and attracting users, right? And Next.js introduces metadata API, which allows you, um, I mean, to define metadata for each page, right? Um, when you go to specific page, you can see title is here, unchanged. I mean, it will be changed, right? For example, it's a routing. It's a Notion page, for example. When I go to next 15 page, you can see right here it's changed, right? It's changed. It's the title, for example. Yeah. And metadata ensures accurate and relevant information is displayed when your pages are shared or indexed, right? Yeah, I mentioned it above, I think. You just understand a little or better configuring metadata. For example, it's very easy in Next.js. Although React that's just introduces some packages or uh, widespread packages on the internet, we can just use them for React. But in Next.js, it's just framework that has a lot of packages by default. That has a lot of features by default, right? Just export static metadata object and put some kind of information, some kind of data meta. That is, uh, for example, not only the static but dynamic generate metadata function as well. And metadata rules, both layout T6 and bstas files can export metadata. But I have to remind you, just exporting the metadata is only working in the SSR, I mean server-side rendering, not working the client-server rendering, right? But trying to just make your component and make your routing component more just, I mean, make it visible if you want, and just turning into client, not client, but server component, right? If defined a layout, it applies all pages in that layout. But if you define the page, it applies only to that page. I mean, specific page, right? Metadata is written in order from the root level down to the final page level. Yeah. When there is a metadata in the multiple places for the same route, they get combined. But the page metadata will replace layout metadata if they have the same properties. Yeah, okay. And that's enough for the theory, and we will do it in practice, right? Okay, for example, in the official website in the Next.js, you can see search for metadata, and metadata, all of the topics are here. But um, I will try to walk you through some of the features, some of the examples. But although I'm teaching the in the video, I would recommend you go read the through the page and through the documentation because documentation is much more information in here. Okay, let's dive into the topic. For example, you can see in the root layout T6, it's just title. You can see title here, metadata, full stack app. It's enough to learn. For example, it's a description, or you can put some of the other metadata features. For example, content, not only description, and content or links or Facebook aux, for example, something like this. But I don't want to introduce metadata from the scratch because in HTML you can put some of the metadata features, right? Yeah. Okay. How can I we do this? For example, it's metadata from Next.js. You can copy it and use it here. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a type only. For example, we can just put it here for the home page. It's also the layout. Let me copy the type and passes here, pass in here, and just export default metadata, metadata, and type is the type metadata. Uh, okay, not working. Export cons, not default metadata, metadata. Oh, not default. Only the not. It's just the name it, right? Yeah, it's an object. For example, we have title. It's a home page, right? Home page. Only title. When I go here, the home page, or sorry, it's not in the another site. Let me delete this page. Home page. It's working because it's a home page. Um, for example, home page like this. It's changed also in the title here, right? Yeah, it's metadata, but when you just use client, it's not working, guys. Oh, sorry, I it's misspelling. It's not working. Yeah, you can see right here. ECMAScript file had an error. Attempted to export metadata from component market use client, which is disallowed. Either remove the export or the use client directive. Mm, When I delete the export, yeah, it's not working by the way, right? You need to remove the directive use client. Okay, no problem. Yeah, by the case that just took an example for you, and you can just use it on in your project, in your simple project, right? Okay, that sounds great. And another just topic we have, for example, yeah, it's a dynamic route. It's user products, for example, in the products ID, it's a dynamic route, right? For example, in the page.t6, we just take params and product ID and display it on the screen, specific product, for example, right? Uh, products, product store, for example, it's featured here. And we can add here page.t6, page.t6 here. For example, how can I do this? It's just not hard, not difficult, part easy. We're gonna use the generate function, generate metadata function, metadata. It would be asynchronous or synchronous, it doesn't matter, but it takes params and metadata as well. Metadata. Mm, okay. For example, we just copy the metadata type, right? How can I do this? We can use it. We can use it, for example, root layout. Uh, from next, import the metadata from the next, copy and paste here. Okay, okay, but that is a problem. Uh, Not params, but we can just put here. I mean, we're gonna use the promise because promise just takes the two arguments, resolve and reject. Why promise? Because it's imagine we are taking the data from the specific API and from the server, and we can just um, display the title of the specific product in the title of the HTML file. For example, it's my blog. It's working, I think. You can go blogs page. For example, if I'm gonna click the specific page, you can see right here. For example, we can just click this button, blog and blah blah blah. It's the title of the page, right? Yeah, it will change it immediately because it's dynamic metadata changeable. Yeah. Okay. And let me put here, but in the params, we need the product ID, the page, right? It's maybe that's props. Let me wrap the object. Mm, it's not working. I don't know exactly. Okay, type props. Oh, sorry, not interface, but props, params, and product ID. It's a string, right? It's a string. Yeah. Okay. Params is just like props. We can just write here product ID or something like this. For example, params or product product ID string, for example. Yeah. It doesn't matter. How can I write here the code type annotation, right? Props. Doesn't matter. Or it's a syntax error. We can remove it. It would be asynchronous, right? We just changed the async function and const title, taking title because we just taking the title from the server, for example. It's just like a promise. Uh, prompts, new prompts, right? And resolve is it would be the returning the successfully, right? And set timeout, for example. um, resolve, for example, product, any product, right? And params product ID. Yeah. Okay, it's working. It's working. And return metadata, right? Title and um, product title because it's in a variable from the taking the data metadata. Why it's not working? Async functional method must be a global promise metadata. Ah, it's returning the promise, right? Let me copy the here and it's working. Okay. When you go to products page, if you're gonna go products two, it should be changed. Not working. Why? Two? No, not full stack. But the title just has been changed, right? Why it's not working? We just define a problem. Why it's not working? We try do this. Ah, oh, sorry, man. Just let's take the not number, but it's props, right? Because we just wrote above the code. Still not working. Hmm. Wait, and just we take just an example and return in the title. Generate metadata. Hmm. Let me go to generate metadata, for example. Not image. Generate uh, metadata, right? You can see right here, params, so blah, 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 generate, or we just missing misspelling this kind of thing. Oh, it's not, it's working, right? You can see right here. Okay, not product, but specific product, specific. Okay, yeah, it's working, right? Product specific to blah, 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 something like this, right? Okay, it should be the not misspell it, but spell it correctly because Next.js just compiles your code correctly and properly. It uses some kind of engine. Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys. Hopefully you just took some examples and you just took in depth of the topic. See you in the next video, guys. Hopefully you understand better.